All right, I think we're recording. So what I want to train on is it's a part of recruiting that can be completely effortless, because this is what we talked about a little bit last week is recruiting with ease, effortless recruiting. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing who would jump into Mary Kay? Wouldn't you recruit if people were just like jumping in the boat? I don't know if you're familiar with that parable of was it Jesus? It was either Jesus or the disciples, but they were out fishing and somebody did something and the fish actually jumped into the boat. Do you remember that? Just had a brain fart. Okay. So, if people were jumping in your Mary Kay boat, wouldn't we all go out there and do what it took? Like if we felt like they would just kind of recruit themselves. So recruiting effortlessly is possible. And I really believe that it comes down to connecting with your audience. And the way that we connect with our audience is by telling our I story. Now, your I story, traditionally, it's really just what you did before Mary Kay, what got you into Mary Kay, and, kind of like what's happened since then. It's your Mary Kay testimony, for lack of a better phrase. It can be short and sweet. If you're a brand new consultant, I just started my business, and the reason I joined was because when I heard you could make 50%, I had been in a sales job where I made 10%, and I just thought, wow, 50%, or whatever the reason is, I really just want a little extra money to spend on my kids because cheerleading's expensive. So I just really started just have a little bit of flexibility in terms of where I'm able to spend, money on my kids. So that's why I joined. Since then, I've just, what your stats are, if you have any stats, like I know that Debbie earned $1,000 in her first 30 days, or at least in your second 30 days, I think. And I would totally tell everybody that, not to brag, but because you happen to know that statistic. I don't know that statistic. I talked about this a little bit at January Jumpstart. I wish I knew how much I earned in my first 30 days. And I wish that I'd been aware that this is important, because people look at me now and they go, well, yeah, sure. You make big paychecks. You're a Pink Cadillac sales director. And they don't relate to that. So people have asked me, they've said, hey, what did you make your first month? What did you make when you were brand new? How did you do? And I have no idea, because I'm just not a record keeper. I could maybe go look back at it. I have no idea. So if hey, I turned my $100 starter kit money that I invested, especially if you had to scrimp and save for that money, like Debbie, I would totally, I'm going to tell on Debbie now. Debbie has been in Mary Kay before. And, in fact, this might be Debbie's third time in Mary Kay. I don't remember Deb's. And, but I would
totally second.
Are you sure? Yeah, that's all right. You don't know, do you?
I think I did something for you, so I'm going with only second.
I think that is I think so. So Debbie signed up when I was in DIQ, and you placed an active order. That's what you did. And then you were you gave me your starter kit and you were like, take this back. And I just took it. And then I don't think even
that is true. I did do that.
You did. Then I think you signed up again, for the $25, and you didn't do anything at all. I don't think you did anything that time. And so I think this is actually a year later is when we actually started your business, I believe. So why would I bring that up and embarrass Debbie? Because, I would tell people in your I story, your evolution about how I've been aware of Mary Kay for a long time. I've been a convert to their skincare. Their moisturizer saved my life. And I thought that I was going to join, and I completely chickened out because, and again, sorry, Debs, that I'm using you as my example here. But I remember having a conversation with you the day that you joined the first time in the office. Do you remember this? In the office at the bank? And there was that fleeting moment of maybe, just maybe, this could be something. I think we were even maybe talking about quitting your job at that point. It was serious. It was it was an emotional moment of this could be what I've been waiting for. And then the next day it was I can't do this. Come pick up my starter kit. And to go from that moment, because that's where every single person in your audience, they're kind of there right now. They're this terrifies me. And the ones that it doesn't terrify, they still want to know that, I would totally be I signed up and had deer in the headlight syndrome. couldn't do anything. Loved the skincare, loved the products, and just was afraid, or tell that part of your story and then say, but you know what changed? And then whatever changed, what did change? Like, figure it out. Like, when you decided to give it a go this time, were you at the end of your rope? Were you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Were you, what was that thing where you were like, it's time. Like, I don't care if I have to, whatever, like, something has to change, because that's what's going to connect to people. So, and you may not have that part of your story. So I don't, right? I will tell people that I never in a million years thought that I would be the Mary Kay lady. That's true, because I did not do makeup at all. However, I'd been introduced to Mary Kay at a young age. And so when I was thinking about doing something, it was actually something that I thought, like, maybe I'll just sell Mary Kay or Avon or something. So it was kind of already planted in my head. So I don't have like an emotional journey. It was kind of just like event, sign up, But I think if you tell your story, and it has to be a short version, it has to be like a 90-second version of your story, but tell the parts of your story that are going to connect with people. When they're sitting there, remember what it feels like to be on their side of the table, to be sitting there going, well, lady, I'm sure that's great for you, but this isn't for me, or whatever those thoughts were, and bring those up. What did you think about a pink Cadillac when you first saw one? What did you think? Did you think, y'all, when I joined Mary Kay, I thought I would love to, like, drive a free car. That's cool. And I thought Camry's a nice car. I'd like to drive the black Camry. I don't even want a pink Cadillac. Thing's gaudy. It's gauche. And, so what did you think? Like, did you think I would never drive one of those pink cars? Did you think that's fine, but I'm not going to be one of those pushy people? And I'll say that in my story. I say, I thought that Mary Kay ladies all had to be like pushy grandmas, and they had to like wear all this makeup. I don't wear any makeup. And so I really didn't think it was for me. Like, what are all the things that almost stopped you? What are all the things that almost stopped you? Were you too busy? And if you get stuck, you're like, I don't know. I would just look at the things that stop other people, right? There's only 5 objections: being busy, not being the sales type, not having $100 to get started, not knowing enough people. And then I don't know that my husband would want me to. I think that's the 5th one. So they're all a variety of those. So touch on those. That's, were you busy? How busy were you? Write that down. Answer that question. When you started Mary Kay, how busy were you? Next question. Did you feel, because here's the deal. Everybody has $100. If you are an adult woman and you don't have $100 in your checking account, we need to talk. Okay, because that's the first thing that needs to change. But if you have $100, everybody has $100, or they can find $100. Like, if you had to go to or take your kids to the emergency room and they were like cash up front, you would find $100. Somebody has $100. The question is, do you feel like you have $100 to invest or to spend or whatever thing? So answer the question: how did you feel about $100 starter kit? Was that something that wasn't a really big deal to you? Did you see the value in it immediately because of the products that are in it? How did you feel about that? Third question would be, how many people did you know? Are you a total people person? Do you know everybody under the sun? Or are you new to town? You don't have to, like for me, I knew people in Birmingham, but I was about to move. So I was like, this will be easy here, but then I'm going to move. And I literally did not know a single person. So, and what does that mean to you? So, like, again, I happen to know Debbie because I have done parties at her house, has a huge network of people who love her and support her. So if Debbie's like, I have a huge network of people who love me and support me, people in the audience are going to go, and you know what I mean by audience, right? Like, it's the girls at your table. So the people are going to go, oh, well, I don't have anybody, so I can't be successful. So what you could say, Debbie, is, I'm completely coming up with this, but you could say, I knew that my friends and family would support me, but I also knew that in order to run this like a real business, you can't rely on your friends and family. If I was going to open a restaurant or like a McDonald's franchise, I wouldn't bank on the fact that my friends and family were going to come in. So I knew that even though I probably had the support of the people in my life, I had to get outside of that circle. So you see what I'm doing there? So they're going like, okay, that's not going to stop me. It didn't, so you have to, essentially, you're going to want to overcome the objections in your So how do you feel about the $100? How busy were you? Do you know a lot of people? Or was that something that you were afraid was going to, keep you from being successful? Are you the sales type? And what do you think about the sales type? That's something I love to talk about in my iStory because I'm like, sales type, gross. Like nobody, no, so even if you happen to be like, I've done retail, I've done sales, I hated it, or whatever, however you felt about it. And you could come back around to saying, but what I found, so it's almost like the feel, felt, found. Like I really was not the sales type, but what I found was I don't have to sell you anything. If you find something that you love, a woman will find a way or make a way to buy it. You do not have to twist a woman's arm to get a product that she loves or shoes that she loves. She'll figure it out. So what I realized was that my job was really pampering people, not sales. So then I realized I don't have to be the sales type to be successful at this. So it's that kind of a thing. And then if the husband thing is relevant, you can throw that in there too. That's not one that I get very often. It's usually time. All right. So in your iStory, you want to basically just let people get to know you. Let them get to know what makes you tick. Let them get to know your version of your success story. If you have a specific, I earned $1,000 in my first 30 days, and then, how much, and how many hours did you work? I worked, this is one of the things about Brandy. I really loved Brandy's iStory because she earned $1,000 in her first 30 days and $1,500, I think, the next month. And she knows, because it was just like 2 years ago, she can tell you and say, and, I worked 4 parties my first month, I made $1,000. I worked 5 parties my second month and made $1,500 or whatever that is. So if you happen to know, you can also though say, and then I totally took a step back from my Mary Kay because this, and this happened in my life. And guess what? When I was ready, I came back to it. When I started again, made another $1,000 or whatever that is. So you can really find the things to humbly brag about, crow on yourself, because it's not about you. Does that make sense? You're not telling your iStory to be like, look at me, I am so great. I am the Mary Kay maven of New Orleans and I'm amazing. You're saying, hey, if I can do this, any moron with a starter kit can do this. Like there's nothing special about me except I took a chance on myself. So maybe today you're sitting there and you're thinking, maybe I should take a chance on myself too. If so, watch what I do. And at the end, we can talk. Give them that hope. Give them that maybe, just maybe. And I think that emotional connection, that's what recruits people. And that's what's so amazing about Linda Toupin's CD. And if you haven't listened to it yet, listen to it. Listen to it enough times where you can tell her stories. I mean, it really is just so inspiring. Listen to Choices.pink and look at the way that she phrases things. Listen to the way that she doesn't sugarcoat anything, but she absolutely makes that connection on the emotional level. And I think that that's why people recruit. That's why on our website, on the guest section, so you have the consultant section over here and you have the guest section over here. The majority of the videos, they're all just 30-second or 60-second videos of people saying, hey, this is who I am. And this is kind of what happened, so that people can see a little bit of themselves in those videos, So I would absolutely recommend that you work on your iStory. Don't just get up front and say, I'm winging it. Here's my iStory. Like sit down and write it out. This is something that I had to do as a brand new consultant, something you have to do in your Silver Wings program when you go through that. Write out your iStory and you have to practice it and time it. Because goodness knows you could take 5-10 minutes talking about yourself and people are like glazed eyes, they want you to shut up. So practice it, practice and I have a short version and then I have a little bit longer version for people ask me to speak in public. It also really helps in conversation. When people will just randomly, you're having a conversation, ask you about Mary Kay, you've kind of already know what to say and know how to say it. So write it out, answer the questions if you want to go through the Silver Wing Scholar Program again, or if you want an outline I think it's in the party section of that area. It has, what I did before Mary Kay, why I joined Mary Kay, what I'm excited about, it's basically those sections. And then I would just address the main objections. So I think that's a really key point. I have 6 minutes until my recording ends. And what I would love to do is give you the brief overview of my skincare class, because I have a lot of people who are asking me, people who have not seen me do a skincare class in a long time, and they're like, what order do you do things in? So let me see if I can give you the brief outline. Eventually I'm going to type this up, and one day I'll also film it so you can see me do a skincare class. What I do is I will do my opening. Again, your opening should be something that you have pretty much memorized, pretty much it's good to go. Hi, my name is Laura. I've been teaching skincare with Mary Kay for 9 years, and I just want to say a big thank you to the hostess. So I thank the hostess. I give her a gift. I have everybody introduce themselves to me and then say one thing that they love and appreciate about the hostess. So we go around the table. The goal is to make the hostess cry. Okay. If she gets teary, you did your job well. And then I tell them, I say, okay, now I know a little bit about you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. That's when I tell my eye story. 90 seconds, maybe up to 3 minutes if you really have a lot. Like for me, I kind of have the before Mary Kay, the beginning stages of Mary Kay, and then I have, kind of some of the things that have happened with the Cadillac and the cars and stuff like that. Previous to all this, we've done satin lips. And sometimes I'll do satin hands beforehand as well, but not the hand cream. I do the hand cream very last because then their hands are clean. The only time I do satin hands last is if I'm going to do microdermabrasion on the back of their hand. I don't want to do satin hands first because it kind of messes up that experiment. But I'll tell you what I did tonight. So I did satin hands and lips first, did all the introductions, told my eye story. Then I say, okay, I give them the the events. Like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pamper your skin. We're going to play some games at the very end. You're under no obligation, but I am going to check out with you guys each individually to schedule your mineral makeover. That's right. You didn't even know you were getting a mineral makeover, but it's included. And I talk a little bit about that. And I talk a little bit about the hostess program that they can book with me today and get their shopping spree at their next appointment. So I kind of say, here's what we're going to do. And I do that throughout the party. Like, hey, so what we're going to do next is we're going to play this game. We're going to try the microdermabrasion and then we're done. So that gives them an idea of like, how close to done are we? Because people are sitting there trying to decide, should I go to the bathroom? Should I check my Facebook? What time did I say tell my husband I'd be home? Those kinds of things. So just keep giving them like an update. Like, we've got this, this, and this. Kind of like if you ever watch a Christmas special, and they're like, coming up, blah, blah, blah. So it's to keep you through the commercial, right? Because our whole thing is the commercial. Okay, so give them the what's coming up. Then I have them do their oath. That's when they raise their right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear to only use these 2 fingers when I touch my face. Use your face fingers. They apply the least amount of pressure. You want to wash face upward and outward. You need to ring finger around your eyes. Then we go ahead and cleanse the face. I only have my customers cleanse their face from the eyes down. I already texted everybody coming that the eyes they're coming with are the eyes they're leaving with. And so they know they're not, I said, we're not doing any makeup. We're doing skincare only. We're not doing any makeup. So the eyes you come with will be the eyes you leave with. So their eyes are staying. And then I tell them, so, the eyes you come with will be the eyes you leave with. So we're going to cleanse from the eyeballs down. And we're not going to do your forehead right now because your forehead is going to be your B forehead. And they giggle or whatever. Sometimes they don't get it. I'm like, get it? B forehead? So it's going to be, and I say at the very end, because some people hate this, say at the very end, I'll let you even it out if you want to. I just want you to be able to feel a difference. So we cleanse from here down. We, at that point, if I'm doing microdermabrasion on the face, we do microdermabrasion step 1 and step 2 on the nose only. Reason why is because it's really great for minimizing the appearance of pores. So I'll say, and people with oily skin, they can do their whole T-zone. But I don't want it all over their face. I just want it in those areas. And not their forehead, but like, here, here, and here. But usually just around the nose, step 2. Then we do day solution on the right side of the face only. I say the right side's the right side, and we do day solution just on the right side of their face, again, so that they can feel a difference. I do night solution on their elbow, one elbow, so they can feel a difference. I do moisturizer on the right side of their face. You've never done night solution on your elbow? It's the best. You got to go do it right now. Then you do moisturizer on the right side of your face. Then you have them feel the 2 sides of their face, feel the right side of their face, and feel their forehead. This is going to feel different for oily skin people. This will feel different for dry skin people. Have them feel their elbows. Ta-da! Then I show them the eye makeup remover on the back of their hand with a eyeliner that we pass around, have them wipe it off, and firming eye cream around one of their eyes. Generally, I take a break right after microdermabrasion and we play a game, and right after we've done all of that and play a game. The 2 games that I play are the Fabulous game for referrals and some kind of a marketing game like the Tell Me What You Think or the Did You Know or whatever. And then I do the close, and then I do individual consultations. So I do the table close, the closet close, and then the individual consultations. And so I play my games in different orders just depending on the feel, because I don't want to give company information too soon if they're still cold to me, if that makes sense. So I want to wait till they're kind of warmed up. I'll go into more detail about that later, but it's about to kick us all off. So I'm going to stop my recording.